Hello there.
Well, hello there. By 15 minutes, I meant 30.
Yeah, clearly.
Just double it. Just
That'll be my conversion process from now on.
just
Be there in an hour. Oh, great.
2 hours.
How have you been?
It's been so long.
Yeah.
I don't know. Today, bit of a whirlwind today.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, how about you?
Yeah, not too bad. I until like right after work, I have decided to upgrade my internal network at the house.
Okay.
I'm not satisfied with the amount of control I have over my network using the router that the company gave me.
Yeah. I'm surprised you've gone this long.
I already changed out, like I don't use it for wireless. I have a Ubiquiti wireless access point upstairs wired into the Ethernet, and it's much better, and it has really good control access. You know, you can whitelist and blacklist stuff. You can make sure that certain MAC addresses are filtered out or whatever, and that's great. But I don't have that same control over the wired internet, and I was kind of like frustrated with that. So I decided to go with the same company, Ubiquiti or Unify, I think is the name of the company. Ubiquiti.
Well,
is
getting the
line.
company name right first would be helpful.
Well, hey, in case anybody out there is familiar with them. And so I got I can't remember what they call it, like the Wonder Machine or some crap, but it's a switch. It's
we're still talking about the internet and the network.
This one, no batteries on this one. This is
the Wonder Machine.
Yeah, it is something like that. Dream Machine is what it's called.
Does it come with a pregnancy pillow?
It does not, but you do get $10 off of it. So it's rack mounted, right? It's like one of these rack mounted appliances. So I got a rack because I want to
got a rack for the house?
Well, it's it's like a 4U rack. I mean, it's a little tiny one, but it's the closet in my bathroom here is where all of the Ethernet wires run to, and so that's where I've got essentially the data center of the house. If you're ever wondering
where all your Ethernet wires lead, it goes to Marcus's
my bathroom closet.
Yeah.
And it's like I had it set up, and I wanted it, like when we moved in, I wanted it just to work. And so I wasn't really paying too much attention to keeping the chaos to a minimum in there. And now that we've been here for a while and I keep looking in there and I want to make this upgrade anyway, I'm taking the opportunity to kind of like square all of that away and have it not be such a tangle of mess and chaos. So
it's
I got
in the closet in there?
Yeah. And
does it have a fan or anything? I mean, I know it's the bathroom, but does it have like its own way of cooling off?
Not really, but I'm not really going to be running anything super hot in there.
You're not mining for Bitcoin.
I am not.
Okay.
Well, I'm not this guy. Yeah. But still doing it over there, by the way. So I got a wall mount rack to put it in.
Okay.
And I got the thing, and then I also got a shelf to mount in the rack as well because I needed to be able to put my Drobo network attached storage in there, and the cable modem itself, or the whatever modem that is itself in there. So those two things will sit on a shelf above the switch, and then it'll be all nice and compact and all in the same place and all like safe. Like right now, the Drobo's on the floor in there, and if something falls off a shelf and whacks it. Well, those are 5 spinning discs that, one of them is going to go crazy and fail. And if two of them fail, then that defeats the purpose of the Drobo in the first place. So I decided, though, all of this stuff is here. And I was ready. And I decided after work, from 5 o'clock until now, would be plenty of time.
No, I know why.
So I got in there and I started measuring, and the holes on the rack are 16 inches apart. Now, 16 inches is the standard distance between studs in the wall.
Okay.
But guess what house doesn't use that? Or guess what room in a house doesn't use that?
Apparently the bathroom?
The bathroom closet certainly doesn't. And so I had to, so I drilled into the studs on one side and I used drywall anchors on the other. But figuring all of that out was a very frustrating mess of time. And I've drilled about 20 holes in the dang wall trying to figure out why it wasn't hitting a stud. It's not really 20.
But it's a closet, so it's fine.
Yeah, and then this rack's going to go on top of it, so you're not going to see the whole thing.
Yeah, you never see it. Yeah.
So I got those in there, and I've got lag screws going into the studs, and those are like screws that that have like a, what they are, but they are hex on the heads instead of like screwdriver heads. They're like bolts. And so I got those in there, and of course my doofus cordless drill. The battery has degraded so much that it's like you charge it up all the way and it's good for like 2 screws. And so it of course peters out on the second screw.
For the record, we're talking about the powered drill, not the Wonder Machine or whatever that was.
Right, correct. This is the 18 volt powered or battery powered drill. I'm drilling in the second one, and it peters out about an inch from the wall and will not go any further. So I have to go out and get my stinking socket wrench and bring it in here and ratchet it the rest of the way in.
But there's something satisfying about that.
It is. That's very true. And I was just thinking about that when I was doing that. I was like, levers are really cool because that's something I think. So anyway, as I'm ratcheting it in there,
let me tell you about torque.
Well, let me tell you about torque. because understand that my frustration level is probably at a good 60% at this point. And I'm like, God damn it, because I'm already figured out that the stupid, the distance between the things is already a problem, and I'm already like cheesed off about that. And the dang rack actually comes in like a foldable thing, so like it'll open up like this, and then this part is what gets drilled into the wall, and then these extend, and then you put the rack stuff in.
I would describe for listeners, I would try to describe what he just was doing with his hand gestures, but I really have no words for this.
Yeah, it's kind of like, imagine a double door that swings open, and then the
doorway H, where the connecting bridge does a drawbridge.
Yeah, but on both sides, right? So, well, I guess, that would be a drawbridge because that's on both sides as well. Woo! This is the best episode we've ever had. All right, so
well, tell me when we're starting.
Right. Have we oh, crap, I need to start the recording. But yeah, so the power drill peters out about an inch from the wall, get the socket wrench, I'm ratcheting it in, and I'm in this kind of frustrated mood, like, dang it, and then it won't like tighten all the way for some reason, and I realize I'm doing it entirely too hard as soon as I completely twist the head off of this freaking thing. It goes pow like that, and I've come off, and I was like, oh, because of course this would happen. So it's actually only drilled into the stud with one screw on one side, because I said, you know what, I'm leaving it. Because thankfully the one that I twisted the head off of was the bottom one and not the top one. And then it's got drywall anchors on the other side, which say they can hold 50 pounds, but we'll see what happens. And then I find out that the most rack mounts have square holes that you attach things to, because things that are supposed to be attached to a rack come with these little clip-in nuts that go to the bolts that drill into them from the front, right? But this one does not.
Okay.
This one does not. It has regular old holes for screws to go in there. But there's no screws in the thing,
come on.
And they're not standard, so they don't use the same ones that come with the thing that's supposed to go in the rack. So, yeah, I mean...
So wait, so what's the current status of this?
Okay, the current status is the rack is bolted to the wall. But unless I find that I am mistaken about the screws that go into the rack, because the screws that came with the items don't work, they're too big for those screw holes on that rack, then I will have to get another rack, because there's nothing that I can do with this one.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
Did you look in Emily's basket?
I did not.
You might want to try that. Oh man!
But that's what I've been doing with my afternoon.
Because that is frustrating. Because you're like, I just was trying to organize. I just was making this better, and now it's more of a mess.
Right.
Then,
I mean, you should see this place. Thank God the camera angles are what they are. 'Cause you can't. But woof, there's a lot of cardboard in here.
Oh, that's a pain.
Mm.
Don't you hate
And
that?
Amazon doesn't help when they send you like something in a box that's good.
A box that's in a box.
Yeah, about 75% bigger than it ought to be. Then I got to break that down. And it feels so wasteful, right? The thing comes, you take it out of the box, and then you immediately break it down and put it in your recycling bin. And it's like, you use the box for a grand total of like 35 seconds.
Well, and then there's the box. And then there's this makes no, like, I don't know who makes this decision. It's probably left up to whoever's like pulling stuff or something. I don't know. But sometimes I'll get something in a box and you open it up and it's like something indestructible. Like why did you put this in a box? Right.
And you get the opposite too.
Sometimes I'll get like a thing of tea. Like, here's my normal size case of tea, right? Mm-hmm. In a bag like thing.
Right.
So it's all just been squished up.
I got a photo filter in a stinking bag. What are you doing? Like, thanks to that guy, whoever did that.
That's what I don't understand. Like, isn't this standardized somehow? Isn't it like just like you? I don't know. I could tell you this. I could tell you. I've received some impressive packaging from eBay people. eBay people are very serious about.
Yeah,
I mean, like it's not only well packed typically, and it's always amazing. Like I ordered a book recently, a book that was out of print or just hard to find, but ordered this book, and it came in a manila envelope like package, right? Uh-huh. But it had been taped in a way that made it like Fort Knox. I mean,
oh, cool.
I thought I was going to have to get like a laser cutter or something to get through this layer of tape. And so when I finally got through it, I get in there and then there's this cardboard, like it looks like it's built for this. It's so perfectly like shaped and sized that it is just wrapped around the book perfectly, not too big, not too small, perfectly, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, is this a new book? Like, I open this up and I realize, no, this is repurposed. Somebody has used a piece of card, like it's like thick card, like it had heavy cardboard stuff. Like has reused this from like something you'd buy, like if you got a, I don't know, like fruit would come in a box. Like either like where it's heavy cardboard or something like that.
Right, yeah, sure.
It's like corrugated, but this person put this time into measuring and folding and then bubble wrapping and
that's a skill, man.
I just paid you like $20 for this book.
Yeah, you got like $20 in packaging. Like packaging effort.
This right at the time, it was just like, wow, like why? I mean, I was going to say, why can't everybody do this? But if everyone did it, everything would cost $1 gazillion.
Yeah, true.
Well, I'm sorry about the screws. And I'm sorry about
I had to go to Lowe's to get those screws too.
So are you replacing so you're not, you have a router that's separate. That's not like a
right. I've got a modem and then a router.
And the modem.
Charter gave me both.
Right. And which of them do you use both of them?
Well, I use the modem because that's the only way.
That's the modem.
Yeah.
Well, no, because like in my house, not here, but at my house, I have a I actually have my own modem that I
well, see, I'm not really worried too much about the modem.
I do.
Because I mean, if I get too worried about like the speeds and stuff that we're getting, but we're getting decent speeds, so I'm not too worried about the modem part. It's the switch that I don't like. I don't want to be able to log into my Switch and see all the things I want to see and control all the things I want to control.
Well, the problem I have is a lot of times I don't know whether. So for me, we have to use for where I live. We have to use Spectrum, and
that's what we're using actually too.
It's not great, and I don't know what their deal is there, but everywhere else I've been, where it's been Xfinity or somebody else, when they issue you the modem, a lot of times it's one and the same. The router and the modem, are the same, and you can't turn off the public broadcast on that. You can't turn off because they want to make Wi-Fi available for anybody like who's using Xfinity, for example. Like if you rolled up to your friend's house and you have an Xfinity account, you can join whatever public Xfinity Wi-Fi is available. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't want anybody nursing off my Wi-Fi or like.
Yeah, there's plenty of places to.
I'm paying for all like that cable is only so thick.
Right.
I want all of it.
The band is only so wide.
I don't want somebody else. Like getting a little bit of that, leeching a little bit off of that. So that's why I say no. I have my own modem. You just you ping it and it's all fine. Of course, every time there's an issue, we've talked about this. I think every time there's an issue, then they blame it on the modem.
Right.
My speeds aren't. Oh, it's probably your modem. It's not the modem.
Yeah.
It was working fine at 10 a.m.
But they've got that out, so they can.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. See, with this Switch, I'll be able to run, connectivity logs and.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're really upset about this.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to invoke
brought Patrick in on these. Yeah. That's just where my mind is right now, man.
We don't usually hear Marcus. Marcus isn't usually as wit's end like this. This is kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Nice work, pal. Smaller aviators. My name is Patrick.
Fucked up.
No, he's gonna heavy edits. No, he's got heavy editing to do. I finally listened to your interview on I don't know what that other show is. One of those other shows that you.
Well, I did.
Slumped yourself out for.
Great and British Mickey Waffle, and I also did Zach.
Yeah. I like. Well, when you did Zach, it was fun. It was fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't know if I covered all the things you wanted to cover. That was kind of the thing. I found myself just kind of going off on weird tangents.
Oh, that was good.
And I was like, man, I'm probably getting away from the path he was wanting to go down.
Who cares? I start to think that sometimes, and then I say to myself, I don't really care.
I want him to get the things he wants to get.
He's not going to listen to this anyway.
Yeah.
But so you were talking about like how you kind of light editing, like little like hands off editing, and which I love about you. I really do. Tonight's not going to be that night for you.
No, I got some superimposing to do.
Yeah, have fun with
and
that.
I always have to pull the Patrick audio out of the entire pre-show spiel. I have an MP3 of the whole friggin' thing.
Why don't you just clip the part out that
You'd think that I would do that, but I was like, surely this is going to be the only time I really need it.
Why?
This doesn't happen much, and yet here we are. I have a bad habit of that. I have a bad habit of going, you know what? I don't do this much. I'm not going to go through the trouble of just clipping it out and saving it as its own clip. But clearly I need to.
Oh, speaking of which, so I got these, I'm not even wearing these properly, but whatever, these new earbud things. Anyway, I was trying to organize because I got this long wire to connect in. I don't know why. I thought I should get a longer wire. And then I thought about it and I was like, maybe I shouldn't because sometimes it's just in the way. Yeah, but then too short's going to be a pain. So I got the longer one. It's too long. Anyway, so I was looking all over for like a zip tie to use to organize it when I'm not using it.
Right.
Sorry. And I couldn't find one right away. And then I thought to myself, I know I've seen one recently. And then I look over here where I'm looking right now, which is connected to my Focusrite, which is the little monitor device thing. Not the monitor, the what do you call the thing that the microphone plugs into and then it connects into the computer from there.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the little control unit thing for the microphone.
Analog digital converter or an AD. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, what he said. AD. I should have known that.
Yeah.
So
something else.
Connected to that wire is like a Velcro, not a zip tie, but a Velcro cord organizer thing.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yeah. A lot of audio equipment comes with those things.
Yeah. All right. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not using that. It's just there, so I'm gonna take it off and use it for this purpose. You can't take it off, Marcus.
You can't?
You can't
How
take
is
it
it
off.
attached?
It's like welded. It's like if there's such a thing as Velcro welding, this is Velcro welded together.
Weldcro?
So you have Velcro.
Weldcro.
Did I say well? Oh well.
No,
I'm
trying to come up with a portmanteau.
I'm gonna take
Velcro
a picture
welding.
of it and send it to you.
Oh, please do. Yeah.
So you can see. I'll do it right now. Okay. Hopefully I didn't catch anything else in the background that you don't want to see.
Hopefully you have pants on.
Well, that was in the other direction, so it's okay. Is that a crumb next?
Here comes the
You can't tell
in the monitor.
Can't tell. Hold on. Like I'm retaking it because that's just embarrassing. I gotta push this.
Oh, Lord have mercy! There's a crumb in the picture. My opinion of you has plummeted.
I don't know what it is actually. I think it's
sitting on a
mound
mound
of sesame
of
seed.
cardboard, and your crumbs are going to bother me.
I think it's a sesame. Hold on. I gotta. Take this other picture. Focus on the right thing. Focus on the right thing. God, hold on. This long cord's coming in handy.
It's not usually this exciting, folks.
No. This is good. Just hold on. I gotta get in the shot. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah. You got to get in the shot.
All right, there we go. Okay, I'm sending it now. Okay,
thank
sorry
God.
about that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even sit over. How are there crumbs over there?
You can be a violent eater. Okay.
Oh, we never talked about the violent eater. What I call the explosive eater.
No, we have not, and I want to hear about that.
You see,
okay, so that's
zoom in on that. You see that? I mean, if you zoom right in, it looks a little inappropriate. But so don't.
It does. Yeah, that is unfortunate.
I did not stage that for the record.
I see now why you were embarrassed by the photograph.
I thought the crumbs were the problem.
But yeah, that's I don't think I've ever seen that kind of thing before.
Okay, so
you gotta get on the YouTube to watch this.
But don't zoom in. Yeah.
You don't want to trip the filters on YouTube.
So so here's the thing, there's two. So towards the end, the other end of this, and it slides. You can see like it would slide.
You're right. Yeah.
There's another one of these that's also attached in a way that it doesn't come off. Now, and
is that the cord that came with the mic or with the AD? Do you remember? Like, where does that cord go? That doesn't look like an XLR, so it can't be going to your mic.
That cord, no, the XLR, no, that's on the front of it. That's the big one going to the front.
And so this is what, power?
This is a little USB-C going off to the computer. I actually have it running.
That doesn't make any sense then. I figured if it was like a mic thing that would have a couple of these so that you could put it on, like this kind of thing. So like there's a little
I have
Velcro-y
those.
thing there.
I broke one of those, but yeah, they're little rubber plastic things. Yeah, I broke one.
And of course I need to move the mic around because that sounds really great in people's ears.
But you can see it's too small to fit over the the end is too big for it to slip over, so it's stuck. It's on there. It's trapped. It's impossible.
I can't figure out how it would be attached so that
And
it still
why?
slides, but that it's like rigidly.
It's like some little. They had like
unremovable.
people sew it on or weld it on
Yeah,
after,
that's what I was thinking. Sewing it. That
Like-
would be so bizarre, though.
right?
This is a weird thing.
So it's like this, and I don't even think it may not even be the Focusrite's fault. It may be the Elgato thing, or I don't know. In any event, I couldn't use it because I was frustrated. So I
Yeah.
couldn't use this one. I couldn't find another one. So you know what I had to do?
What did you have to do? Twist tie?
I had a little twist die.
Those
Which
things are.
I hate these things. Like
Is that one that came on like a coiled up wire in an electronic thing that you bought, or is that something that came off the bread?
no, this is more heavy duty than it's black and a little
Okay,
heavier duty.
yeah.
What did this come off of? I repurposed. Oh, you know what I repurposed this from? I bought a package. Michelle, God love them. But Michelle and my mother, maybe it's just women in general. I don't know. Mostly my mother, honestly. Like they lose their iPhone power cords, like or go through them. Like my mother, like she. Like constantly, her phone's dying. Right? I'm like, well, where's your charger? Oh, I don't have the cord. Well, why?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I got this package of cords of various lengths.
30 of them.
It's just like it's got to be at least a dozen. Like one that's like 6 feet long or 9 feet long, and one
Nice.
that's like a little shorty. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's sitting there unused, Marcus.
Right.
Oh, I also got the little charging blocks because nothing comes with
Yeah.
those anymore either. So
Yeah, which is great.
So I was like, oh, I know where I get a twist tie off of the cable. So I took it out and then I just neatly packed it back in. Long story short, I got the little twist tie, but I don't like twist tie on bread. Twist ties?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, twist ties are better. Okay, twist ties. Here's how it goes. Here's how it goes.
speaking.
Right. So my favorite thing, I don't know if I have them. Hold on. Okay. Oh,
We've seen more of the back of your chair this episode than we usually
hold
do.
on. It's nice, right? Hold on. Okay. Oh yeah, I got it. I think I got it. You don't want to see what's in this bag. That's for sure.
Yeah, I do not.
Sometimes I'm traveling. I use this bag, this little pouch bag. I've had it forever. And I take it, and one of the first things I do is before I sit on an airplane, I take this out of my bigger bag because it has all the stuff I need. It has my
Right,
headphones. It has my battery pack. It's got cords of various sizes. It's got Splenda. It's got tea bags. It has like little mints and gum. I've got alcohol pads. That's a COVID ad. But
I've
it's
really
got-
gotten into those since
I've
I
got
had
cashews.
glasses. You got cashews in there.
I've got a little screen
nuts.
cleaner, which my screens desperately need.
Oh, a little microfiber thing.
I've got my little like thumb drive adapter thing for the super small disc card things. I told you I have my teas in there, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
The English breakfast twinings.
It's a
English
mixture.
and Irish.
I
it
have,
looks like.
so of course there's a decaffeinated English breakfast, and then there's
What's the point of that?
red eyes. Red
Well,
eyes.
I
If you
mean,
want to have
that's
tea,
that's when you want to
no.
unwind.
you have the English breakfast decaffeinated in the morning of a red eye, because that way when you go back home, you can take your melatonin and go to sleep. Irish breakfast
Yes. Irish breakfast.
and
What is the difference?
strength. The
Is it
tea,
strength?
types of tea that they use are different.
Well, I mean, it seems like I can't taste the difference between you.
You can't
give
taste
me
the
two of them.
difference?
Well, maybe I need to do a Pepsi challenge with it, but it's like the Irish and the English breakfast does not seem different to
It's
me.
very different.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Irish breakfast is stronger. I mean, just know that.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, the thing that I was worried about being in here isn't in here, so that's good. Do you want to know? Oh, I also have like these. These are very important. The anti-diarrhea, like the what is that? Loperamide hydrochloride. This is probably expired.
Is that Imodium?
Oh no, expiration January 22. We're okay. We're close. It's cuspy.
Yeah. If you're gonna get diarrhea, you better do it pretty quick.
Well, because
which does tend to happen.
There's no worse place to have it than on an airplane. This is my get out of jail
card. There's no
card.
worse place to have it, but that's
pretty much no. I think it's like the worst place. You're in a tube, and you can't escape. You can't like.
There's bathrooms in the tube, though.
Leave the scene of the crime.
True.
Like, they're gonna know who did it, Marcus. They're gonna look at you.
I would say
with shame.
Being halfway up El Capitan is probably the.
No, because no one's gonna see that. Okay, you just do it. You just do it off the edge. These
off the edge.
I love this is at the top.
Oh, okay. Favorite. Yeah, a little drawstringy,
the little drawstring will toggle. There's a name for this doohickey thing, I'm sure.
It's a squeezy grabby. That's the name of it.
Yes, and
you put that on the bread?
No, I don't put this on the.
Okay, I thought that's what we were talking about. Things for the bread.
Bread is not toggle worthy or whatever you want to call this thing. I gotta tell you this.
I thought that's what got us into this whole thing.
This does look.
Is what's good for the bread.
I'm not gonna.
It's better than twist ties.
At some point, we need to do like a 80 unplugged or something. I don't know, like because okay. This also looks like something else that I'm not going to talk about here. All right, so
AD After Dark.
So this is at the top of the
list.
Welcome
to Accidentally Derivative After Dark. We're going to talk about Jason's twist ties.
The next best thing, and which I don't have,
thing on his desk,
is the Velcro things.
Okay, yeah,
I like those. Those are number 2. Mm-hmm. Okay,
the ones that aren't welded to a cord.
right, preferably. Sometimes you can buy them in a package and they break apart. Those are kind of fun.
Yeah,
nice.
I always see them in like a coil, like it looks like a disc, and you just peel them off.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah. It's satisfying too to peel it off. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure. I feel like zip ties are kind of like a cousin. Like they're right over here. Like zip ties they have no place in my life. But I'm not. Anyway. Stop.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Because they're too permanent. They're too permanent.
They're very permanent. Yes, they are. So they're great for like cord management under your desk or something, but yeah, it's
yeah, no. Have you ever tried to bite your way through a zip tie?
Not sober.
No, it's impossible, Marcus. Like the things come in packages and sometimes they're zip tied down.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing worse as a parent on Christmas Eve.
When it's like zip tied to the cardboard or whatever.
Yes.
The thing. Yeah. God, I hate that.
So zip ties.
Nail clippers, though, are the perfect thing for that.
Okay. Depends on how tight it is.
I don't know. I've found that the best thing for popping zip ties has been nail clippers. They like better than scissors, certainly better than a knife. How do you know?
Incidentally, how do you know if your nail clippers need replacing?
That's a good question.
Like how do you know if it's the nail clippers or are your nails hardening?
Right.
And are you just getting weak?
And like your nails are different hardnesses throughout the day, right? I mean, it's like depends on what you've been doing.
Well,
like right out of the shower, then they're certainly
strength.
soft. But like there's times when it feels like they're a lot harder than they are like later on after you've been doing other stuff. And it's just see, you're just looking for stuff now. I don't even know.
So so when you trim your nails, are you like a pre-shower trimmer or a post-shower trimmer?
If I'm going to do it like today, in fact, I trimmed my nails today.
Oh, good. I was going to say something.
Weirdly enough. And it was just because I was like, all right, this is ridiculous. My freaking nails are way too long. I've been just like putting it off because every time I notice, because in the morning, I want to do it right after the shower because they're soft and they go twanging across the room. And so, but like, I'm never think of it like right after the shower. I'm just doing my stuff. And I get downstairs.
When do you think of it? You know, when I think of it, you tell me when you think of it. When do you notice that your nails need, and okay, wait, and there's a difference between fingernails and toenails.
Well, certainly that. And I certainly, as one would expect, I recognize that my fingernails are too long way before I recognize that my toenails are too long.
And when do you recognize that your fingernails? Well, I think
usually it's whenever I'm like logging into my computer.
Yeah, right. When you're typing or something.
Yeah. And it's like, wow, that's a lot clackety, a lot more clackety than that usually is. And well, my toenails, like it's going to be like if my feet are up on the table while I'm watching TV or something.
Why do
like,
you put your feet on the table?
What the heck?
Don't put your feet on the table.
Well, I put my feet on a pillow on the table.
Oh, God.
I don't eat off of that table. That's the coffee table.
Disgusting.
I don't even put coffee on that table.
Oh, God.
Who puts coffee on the coffee table?
Feet shouldn't be exposed. Anyway,
my feet are always exposed. I don't wear shoes at all in this house. When I have to leave the house, I put my shoes on, and it's like I'm in prison.
Well, I like to be. The problem is that you have calluses on the back. Do you have bad calluses on your heels, though?
Not really.
Touch them. Do they callousy?
Well, I mean, they're a little dry, I guess. They're not callousy, though. No.
And you walk around your house. Oh, you have carpet in your house?
I have carpet in
floors,
here.
right?
Carpet in all the bedrooms. The main floor doesn't have carpet on it, though.
Okay. I found that wearing slippers most of the time, because I'm barefoot, except I have my slippers, and they're great. I can't speak highly enough about these LL Bean. They're like leather moccasin type things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you walked around in them yet?
Is it rude to show my shoe? Is it like? I feel like
I don't think so.
We've just now been banned in Iraq.
Well, if Spoiler Patrick hasn't already done that too, I don't know why I keep calling her Spoiler Patrick. Blooper Patrick hasn't done that for us already in Iraq. Then,
so yeah, the LL Bean, it's a leather moccasin. It's really nice. Anyway,
cool.
So I'm like Mr. Rogers.
You need
a
cardigan.
I have a pair here, and I have a pair at home.
And we certainly know about the people in your neighborhood.
And yes, we do. They're the people that anyway. So I when I leave here tonight, I will slip these off, and I will 9 times out of 10, I have slip-on shoes. Right? They're the Olacoa. I forget that. I'll tell you later. And then I slip those on, and then I'll go home. And as soon as I come in the front door, I slip those off, and I slip on the same version of these slippers at the other end.
You got some in all your different places that you go.
Yes, it's
lovely. If you want to keep some over here, you can.
I may do that. I may do that. There's something nice about having a slipper on you. Anyway, and I can take it off. So
I just like being barefoot. Not that I'm like feel connected to the spirit of the world or anything, but it's just, I don't know, when you don't have to leave the house ever, because I work from home and I do this from home, and I can easily go a week without actually leaving the house. Accidentally go a week. Like I'll be like, you know what? I have not left the house. There have been plenty of times when we will decide we're going to go next door and have some sushi, and then we'll leave the house, and I'll set the alarm off because not completely off because
neither of you have left the house.
I turned it on before we went to bed, and it's like we haven't even cracked a door or a window for like 18 hours.
That's great. See? So getting back. So we're gonna get back to twist ties, people. I know you're dying to get back to the twist ties, but before we do, I have this nail clipper, and I have like noticed that it's like I'm having to like bear down, like I just squeeze in, and I think it's the clippers.
That's got to be the clippers.
So I've used other clippers and they're fine. I think it's the clippers.
Yeah.
My nails grow almost like crazy.
Pinching it off, and that's no good.
Like my fingernails grow like I'm like didn't I just cut my nails? It's like,
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, twist ties, zip
Twist
ties.
ties, yes.
Zip ties, you may want to try if you're having trouble getting a zip tie off something. You may want to use nail clippers, but don't use the ones that I think are suspect right now. Long story short, the twist tie, this twist tie falls under the Velcro tie, right?
Okay, for things like cable management and stuff.
Correct. Oh, for anything.
Or any-
The next, I think the next thing down that really should just be canceled, frankly, is that little piece of brittle plastic that they pretend
Yes.
will seal your bread. It's basically one-time use. Let's put it like from the
sort of
factory.
like this weird
it's
spiky
fine.
U
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah.
whatever. It's like a guillotine and it gets.
I hate that thing.
Right. So, but I feel guilty. Like if I am getting the bread out, and if it's bread I'm using in common with somebody, if it's my own bread, then I have no guilt over this. But if it's like family bread or something, if I was at your house, you said, "Hey, give me a piece of bread." Okay, I go over and you've got the little like clippy clip thing on the bread.
Yeah.
I'm going to respect it. I'm going to.
You're not gonna.
I'm gonna take right. And
Fold it
then
in
my
half and throw it
technique
away.
is, I kind of do the twirl, right?
Yeah, twirl.
and then you clip, right?
Right.
And then you tuck.
Oh, okay. I make
You
sure
got to
that
tuck it under.
I twirl, I clip,
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
purposefully untwirl so that it'll expand in the little thingy, and the little thingy won't move any.
Can you trust that?
Well, I don't know.
That no
See,
air
that's
is
the
getting
thing.
in there?
I don't know. I'm not sure. That's the problem
I
with
can't
those
live
things.
on the edge like that.
Yeah,
I know.
that's the problem
Yeah.
with those things. They
No, I do a tuck. I do a
twirl,
spin.
clip.
Yeah,
tuck.
twirl. Right. And honestly, the clip is irrelevant.
Right, I was about to say, in that
tuck is all
regard,
you
the
need.
tuck is doing everything, is doing all
Tuck's
the work
everything.
there.
That's all you need. Right. So
Tuck everlasting.
what the thing is, these clips, they break, right? They can fall off and get left, and the dog can eat them.
Right, or when you like, you can accidentally bend them too much, and then they'll be off like that, and then they're just completely no good at that point.
It's like a medical condition. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Kind of weird Peyronie's disease.
those should go away.
it up, too.
If you're a bread company or you're thinking about starting a bread company, use the twist tie.
Yes,
Just use the
at
twist
least
tie.
use the twist tie. I
That's
tell
it.
you what they need to make. Remember, and I haven't seen these in a long time. I don't guess they make them anymore. But chip clips, right? The little
Whatever happened to chip clips?
I don't know,
Whatever
nobody
happened to
is-
chip? Did
we're
people
still
stop eating
using chip
chips or something?
bags.
I don't know.
The problem still exists.
Also, we used to order this. Actually, we went back to ordering it again in smaller quantities. But we used to get this dog food from. It's like it's core, but it's anyway not important. It used to have like you would cut the bag. You had to be very careful because it had a perforation, like a little spot, like where you could theoretically tear it and then it would tear across. That never works, by the way.
No,
Ever.
none of those do ever.
So I had to get scissors and then you cut across, right? But you had to be very careful because there was like a little Ziploc like thing that
Yeah.
you could use to Ziploc the bag back up, right?
Right.
And that was great because then you didn't have to worry about rolling like a 30-pound bag of dog food. Like
Right.
that's in the beginning, and towards the end it's easy, but in the beginning you really don't have enough to work with to roll or anything.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
So the Ziploc thing was really nice, and it kept it nice and fresh that way. As long as you didn't cut too low.
Right. That's the problem.
Which, that's
And
like
then
the
you
subject
completely
of a
ruined
few domestic arguments. Yeah. So, so it's like, anyway, at some point, this company just stopped doing that. I thought I got a defective one month. Turns out, no, they just stopped including, like, there's no Ziploc feature anymore. So now you're on your own. So we did have to like get those the bag clip things, the chip clip things to use on the dog food bag, right? And then we ended up getting this other dog food that we use primarily now. It's like a Hills product, and that has this really nice. It's like a cross between Ziploc and Velcro. Yeah, it's lovely. Okay. It's like, here's the thing: if you're just kind of half-butted about it, it'll just Velcro. You can just kind of like softly, gently, like just close the bag. Just make some effort, and it'll Velcro, and that's good enough, right? If you give it a little squeeze, you get to like the Ziploc, that satisfying, like connecting closure sound. Love that. And that zips it, and it's great. And I don't know why more companies don't do that.
And I'll tell you what, it is 2022. We're in like, what was it? Like we're way past all of the things that happened in future movies in the 80s, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Skynet has already come online. Buck Rogers has already left on his mission. All kinds of junk happened in years before this. So we're in the future right now. How come cereal bags aren't Ziploc?
Why do they have that cardboard tab thing?
Well, no, the bag on the inside. Why doesn't that have a Ziploc top?
Oh,
that's
I don't know, because you can't tear that bag open. You can't tear the bag open without doing damage to the cardboard either.
Right. Yeah. So what the heck? Why is it not a Ziploc bag?
And if you pull it out, if you pull it out so that you don't tear the cardboard, so you open it, then it expands, and now it looks like it's got a eating problem. Like you
either have to cram it back in there and have the box bow out bulging like this, and then it won't close at the top, or you gotta like moosh the friggin' plastic bag to try to get it back into a flat shape. No. And then all that does is break up all the cereals on the inside.
Right.
It is an absolute horror show.
You know why they haven't fixed that, Marcus?
Why?
Because you keep buying cereal.
Yeah. We need to vote with our dollar on this.
Yeah. People just stop. And I don't even eat cereal, and I know about the problem. Like this is a challenge.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like you said.
It's not just cereal. Wheat Thins. It's the same problem. Like any cracker, any kind of cracker, like the type of thing. Now, and I realize that we're getting into territory that's going to get confusing for our British friends, and I apologize because crackers and biscuits and cookies, and they mean very different things.
Right.
Across the pond.
These are
Wheat
Thinningtons. That's what they call them over there.
It's not what they call them. So, like, this is a dilemma. Oh, by the way, I have snacks for you and I to eat.
That's good because it's coming.
Oh no! I thought we were going to do it again.
That's what you thought. Apparently, I did not in any way make you think that was what was going to happen. I
don't think I can do it again. I'm still recovering.
We'll see.
Well, let's just do it differently. Maybe.
Well, I say we don't start with 32 this time.
Maybe that's...
Start at 16. I think that's probably a little more... A little more conducive to health. I don't know.
God. I have to... Remind me to fast beforehand, too.
We'll do it during Lent.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. That's great. There was something else you were going to tell me about. Hold on. There was something else.
I know that through all of this Amazon ordering over here, I find the buy it again list of items to be hilarious. And I don't know
would you care to look now? I mean, do you have?
Well, let me look at mine now, and it's just that a lot of them, make sense. Okay, it's it's conceivable that I.
Now, where do you
would
get?
be-
You go to the little home button first,
Yeah, let me.
and then
all the cam stuff.
because they've reorganized things several times. I think you have to hit the little pancakes, and then there's the buy it again. There's the buy it again. Oh, I have adjacent shortcuts, and my shortcut leads to the treasure truck. Now, I have never made that shortcut in my life.
The treasure truck.
Oh, you don't know about the treasure truck? The treasure truck.
Oh, the treasure truck.
You know about the treasure truck?
I do not know about the treasure truck.
God help you. They'll never let Emily hear about the treasure truck.
Oh, really?
If Michelle's like, she hears the treasure truck, it's like
Here's
stovetop
the treasure
stuffing.
truck?
No, because
It's
they
like
get a
an
notification.
ice cream can?
It might as well be. It's like stovetop stuff. It's like the kid from Stovetop Stuffing. There was like stovetop stuffing. She get a notification saying that the treasure truck's going to be in your area,
What the heck is that?
and apparently it's
Like
like
the
all
bookmobile.
all the crap that people don't want. I guess they stick in this treasure, and then they have like these deals, right? But you have to go. You actually have to go to where the treasure truck is before it leaves. It's like, what do they call that? Mob? It's like the flash mob kind of thing. It's like
Yeah.
flash store.
Weird. And
It's really weird.
it's a
I'm gonna
truck.
click on it. I'm gonna click on it.
And
just to
you
see.
get to it through Amazon?
So you know, you know what the first? So I clicked on the treasure truck. You know what the first thing is that popped up on the treasure truck?
Zip ties?
No, that would be you. Culturel Pro Strength Daily Probiotic, 60
Ooh.
capsules. Why? Make self-care a priority this year with better digestive health.
And that's in the treasure truck.
Yeah. Why?
This isn't secondhand stuff, right?
No, why would I go to, why?
Well, sometimes you want to poop.
I don't feel like this is the treasure. They're saying this is treasure truck, but this is not how the treasure truck works. Treasure truck comes in your neighborhood ish, and then you have to go there, and they usually have stuff that you don't really need, but you feel like you have to get because it's going to be gone soon.
Yeah,
This is
it's
not
like
one of those things.
cheap or whatever.
Nah, I mean, yeah. Okay, so we're clicking on buy it again.
So I'm in
Or
buy it again.
Buy again.
And a lot of this stuff, makes sense. There's the shampoo I was talking about last week. There's some Kevin Murphy hair product, interestingly enough. Coffee filters, yeah, that makes sense. But why do I have a Roomba in here? What? Why?
Do you really?
Why would they think that I've run out of Roomba and I need to go ahead? It's about time you bought another Roomba,
Because
don't
they
you
know
think?
about your Roomba.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like stuff. It's weird junk like that shows up in these things.
I'm looking. Mine doesn't. I don't really have everything in my buy again. Is really like there are things that you will use.
I got like a massive power strip. I don't know why I would need to go ahead and
Like-
buy another one of those.
Like Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom power strip. That big folding table we do Starch Madness on. It's in here. You need another table? I think you need a. This surely it's about time you got another table, right?
Through Amazon.
It's so weird.
I don't think you buy enough through Amazon. I can tell you why. Okay, so for me, I have yet.
Tripod ball head. How many of these things?
How many have you lost?
None. I still have that one. It's holding up this camera right now.
This item is going on. This item is going on our affiliate page thing that we have to put together. Buying our
what's
shop.
that, then?
We've got to have Jason Marcus picks
Yeah. Clearly, this is true.
because there are life-changing things. This is not hyperbole. I grant you. I'll give you a lot of hyperbole. This is not hyperbole when I say that this is a life-changing.
Okay.
This is a life-changing purchase. That's less than $15.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
And you should buy multiples of these. Every time you think you have enough of these, you're wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Yes.
It is the how do I pronounce this?
Well, that was anticlimactic.
the Nulaxy Nulaxy like Gulaxy but with an N. Nulaxy.
I haven't heard of Gulaxy either. But
Robert Gulaxy. Nulaxy A4
A4.
cell phone stand. All right. It's fully foldable, adjustable desktop phone holder cradle dock thing.
One of those.
It is heavy. I'm telling you, the thing, it folds flat, completely flat. You can put it in your pocket. I mean, I have never done that, but you could, right?
Oh, wait a minute. I think I've seen ads for that like on Instagram. It's a little like in like twist, like you fold it on itself and you stick
I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to take my phone off of its little cradle. And it's right here.
You got it.
I have one. Of course. Dude, I have one here. I have one there. I got one at home. I got two at home. I got them everywhere.
All right.
This is what it looks like right now in its current configuration. You see?
Yeah.
Okay. Now watch.
I am watching. Whoop.
Just folds flat, right? And you can just take it with you. And I will travel with this now because on an airplane, like I'll pull this out and I can set this like this, right? And I can take my phone and I can stick the phone like that, right? You can stick it like that. And you can stick it like that. You can stick it like that. And this thing is heavy duty enough that you can put an iPad on this thing too.
Oh, very cool.
I mean, it's serious.
Check that out.
It's got the little rubber feet to keep it from scratching. Right?
Yeah, the one scratch.
A little foot slid there. A little foot migration. There you go. Back in your spot.
Foot migration.
And this thing, man, it costs. What's the price? It's a purchase 2 times. See, and every time I purchase it, I purchase 2. So
okay, so that's for 4 actual units.
Yeah, $11.99. And if you ordered it right now, you'd have it by Friday for free delivery with Prime.
Go check that out.
It's fantastic. So that's one of those things that like questionable.
This is the QVC part of the show.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We've sold 14 so far.
I really
like them.
Dude, I am scrolling through here and I have still not come to a thing that wouldn't be appropriate to buy.
This microphone is on there.
Maybe you just don't buy enough.
Sure, MB set. That is clearly not the case. Maybe I don't buy enough like consumables. I've got like something on here I've never bought.
Here's one. Here's one. The F2C ash bucket with lid.
Ash bucket?
An ash bucket. Like a bucket you'd have next to your fireplace or something to scoop ashes out, you know? Right. Yeah. Why would you buy that again? Well, I'll tell you why. If you're like me, because I did just buy it again recently, and you're like me, and yours suddenly disappears.
Oh well,
you need to buy it again, right?
I guess that's
Where
true.
Does it go? I don't know. We still don't know.
I wonder if they stole it, and that's how they knew to put it on your buy it again list.
Well, we were using it for dog poop, like so after we would bag the poop from the yard, it would go into the ash bucket with the lid, right?
I think that makes it an ass bucket.
It does probably. And then oh, by the way, if you ever want to know where the frog or the lizard, but most likely the frog is going to be perched on a Thursday night at about 11 o'clock.
Ash bucket.
It's going to be on the ash bucket handle because as you go to get that thing to empty into the trash can for the trash, it's going to be there. It's going to jump at you. It's going to scare the bejesus out of you. I'm just saying. So I had to order another one of those. It turns out it needed to be on buy again. I'm still going. I'm still scrolling, and I've scrolled a lot.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think it's just my buy it again thing is like full.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I finally got to one.
Would be ridiculous.
The carbon fiber 66-inch tripod.
Oh, that. Oh, wow.
So that's on buy it again. But I have bought more than one of those too.
Well, none of these things I've bought more than one of. Yeah, I bought it once, and they're like, "Hey, buy it again." And like,
you need to.
Why?
You need to train your thing.
They'll give us more money. And I'm like, well, I don't need that stuff. I buy other junk.
I'll tell you what's scary in Amazon. It's the browsing history.
Yeah.
The browsing, and not only is it Amazon, the things are scary when even Amazon has awareness of how scary it may be and maybe inappropriate because it gives you, if you go into your browsing history, plain as day, easy, there is a remove from view button for each item that you can click, and there's a button at the top that says remove all items from you. You can, with one click,
eject.
just like No, remember, it doesn't say remove items from your history. It just says remove all items from view.
Right. So they
So this
still
is
know
like-
that you looked at the thing.
This is if you're on an airplane and you hit the button, you pull this up, and you need just to escape fast. Boop. I mean, I don't know why you need to do that. But.
I tell you something that's interesting. And it's really effective. And I don't know who curates these lists or if anybody does or if it's just an amazingly good AI. But I scroll down through Facebook sometimes and there will be this bizarre side-scrolling sort of list of Amazon products. And they're all like fascinating things I've never seen before. And I get curious about them. I'm like, what the heck is that? You know, and I click on it and it's like, that's effective. You know, I don't ever really buy any of that stuff, but it's all really neat stuff to look at.
I have bought stuff. I think the chair I'm sitting in, the one that's clickety-clackety, I think I did buy that from a Facebook ad like that.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Yeah, look at me. I was reading. So last night, okay. Everybody, let's go to Jason's World for a second. We need a theme song.
We always have a great time when we're in Jason's World.
Jason's World. Okay. All right. It's like 11:30 at night. I'm laying in bed. Do my little routine that I do on my phone after, and I started to decrease my brightness, and I go to New York Times just to sort of see, you know, news stuff. And I know it's always light read. I never read like news that's like gonna bother me before bed. It's like it's like the fun stuff.
Something uplifting.
Yeah. So as I'm scrolling, there's this. In fact, if I go there now, I wonder if it'll still be there. The New York Times. There's this clearly it's this thing in the middle of the page that is clearly an ad, but not really an. It's like one of those like cross between things where it's like a paid article kind of thing.
Yeah.
See, now it's not coming up. But what it takes me to is, and what it's, I'm sure it's in my history still here, is like this advertisement essentially for Canada.
How much?
Hold on. I'm gonna find it. It's too good not to like be able to cite the source perfectly. It's coming. Hold on. Oh, look, Disney Cruise Line. No, that's not.
If anybody needed proof that we don't actually prepare for these shows, this one has been a great Exhibit A on that.
I'm sorry. Here it is. Paid post by Destination Canada.
Okay.
Want a once-in-a-lifetime Northern Lights experience? Head to Canada. And while you're there, don't forget to try dog sledding, polar bear watching, and the local dining. Okay. And then there's a whole article about it. It's really cool. You learn about ice climbers, the glaciers, yada yada. Here's the beautiful pictures of the Aurora Borealis. All this. I mean, this is not like, this is a New York Times style article. Look at that. That's
from here. That looks professional.
And the pictures are pretty.
No,
right?
That's very pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. And then they talk about Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. They talk about Whitehorse, Yukon. Whitehorse, Yukon. They talk about Churchill, Manitoba. Right? Okay. These places, they sound wonderful and places to go to watch the Aurora Borealis. And it's a lot more convenient. So they say to get there. In fact, in there somewhere they say it. Like,
I'm sure they do.
They point out somewhere on here about how, like most people when they think about seeing the aurora, they think about having to go to, you know, Europe and
Norway.
Right. They're saying no. It's like if you're like coming from New York or something, it's like, you know, right there.
Yeah,
Canada,
this is just as northy.
Churchill, Manitoba. Okay. I look it up on Google because now I'm curious. I should be sleeping, but I'm curious. So now I go to Google Maps and I look I go like Manitoba. For the first time, Yukon I know is out because that's way up there near Alaska, so I'm not going there.
Right.
And then because I'm going to go, like now I'm like going next week.
Right, of course.
Right. I go into this
And
mode
Yukon
where
is entirely
and
too
Marcus,
far
you know
away
me well
when
enough to know that there's always
Manitoba is.
the possibility that I could go next week. Like I could,
That's true. Or send Zach there.
Guess where you're going, buddy? Well, so I looked this up. Churchill, Manitoba. It's way far north. Not as far north as you could go, but pretty far north. And I'm like, okay, well, how would I get there?
I bet you they have an answer for you.
Well, they don't in the article, but they do when you get to, if you go to Everything Churchill, which I did.
As everyone should.
There's a little thing in here about, getting to Churchill and getting around. And the first thing they tell you is getting to Churchill is part of the adventure.
Oh, that's a good sign.
There are no roads. You must arrive by train or plane.
or flying DeLorean.
I'm like, well, that's it. Churchill is a small town and it is fairly easy to walk around town to shop or explore.
And there's no around
here's
town.
Here's the thing. There's no but.
Right.
There's no however. But there should be, because I'm going to read this. I'm going to read that sentence to you again, and then imagine that there probably should be a but, and then I'm going to read the next sentence. Okay.
Okay.
Churchill is a small town and is fairly easy to walk around town to shop or explore. Remember, you are in polar bear country. Respect all signage and warnings. It is not recommended to explore on foot outside the town without a guide.
It's almost like, without the word but in there, it's almost like that second sentence is there to support the first sentence. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's easy to walk around town and shop on foot in our town. After all, it's polar bear country, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Who doesn't love walking around on foot,
Crazy,
shopping and visiting local eateries in polar bear country?
Right. So then, okay,
getting
to Churchill. Getting to Churchill. Okay, how do I get to Churchill? Like, well, you can fly there. I mean, it's gonna be cheap, right? Or you can take a train. So they have Rail Canada, right? So you can take the train. Apparently, you have to take it from Winnipeg.
Okay.
To Churchill. Well, Winnipeg's not exactly easy to get to on its own either.
Well,
but the best part is
polar bear country. That's the question.
The train between Winnipeg and Churchill. 48 hours. The train ride is 48 hours. 48 hours, Marcus.
2 solid days on a train.
And there's no, as far as I could tell, there aren't. Like, are you kidding me? This is like taking the Siberian Express. Like, what is this? Right. This is like the vertical Siberian Express.
Is there a murder on there too?
Come on. And well, I'm sure, like, out the window, what do you say? It's probably beautiful for the first 15 minutes. You're like, this is gorgeous. And then you're like, okay.
Yeah. It's like going to the Louvre. Like, for a little bit.
I'm
you're
sure
like, priceless art. And then after like 20 minutes, you're like, okay, whatever. Fucking go again. Right. Yeah.
Right. And the cost.
Just get to the little tiny Mona Lisa and get out of here.
The cost was like $1,500 for this round trip, like just for the train. Now, when you get there, the place, I mean, it's really cool looking. The town's cool.
I'm sure it is.
Some really cool lodges there. Like, yeah, I think it'd be
There's
great
probably
to
a
go.
psychological factor too, that you're like, I have to justify the fact that I just spent 48 hours on a train, and I'm looking at 48 hours on a train
here's
back.
a picture. This is what it looks like. The train, when the train rolls into the station, it's going to look like that. You see? Oh,
yeah.
Let me hide my head.
A little blurry. Oh, there we go.
There it is. There.
Churchill.
Like that.
And see, that's weird too. Like if you do it during the winter time, that's 48
There's no
hours
one
of
there.
looking outside
At snow.
mostly white.
Yeah.
That's some stuff that'll screw your brain up, man.
It's the Mr. Drummond of weather.
What you talking about, Lewis? Lewis.
So,
Willis, not Lewis. What the heck? Yeah.
I probably won't go there next week. It probably won't be next week. But now it's on my list. I did save it in my Google Maps thing because I'm like, I feel like I've invested enough time. I probably know more about getting to Churchill than anyone I know.
That's very true. That's very
Except
true.
maybe the Canadian friend. Okay, so that's probably not true. But it's certainly
I don't
within.
know. They may not. I don't know about everything
true.
that happens in this country.
That's true. Tastier crystal. Like they may like. Do you know
how do you get to
Churchill?
Bismarck, North Dakota?
I know.
I don't even know. I'm not even entirely sure if Bismarck's in North or South Dakota. I can't remember which one it is. Is it North or is it South?
Yes.
Okay.
I
The
feel like
Badlands
it's,
is in South.
I feel like it's South.
Right?
Yes.
I've been to
there.
the Badlands. Yeah.
I've been to the Badlands. I think I've been through Bismarck. I've driven across the country so many times, so it's like
I got to figure out like which one sounds right. Bismarck, South Dakota.
we've just lost
Bismarck,
all
North
of the,
Dakota. I think it's north.
We've lost all the.
Alexa,
That is how
where
you
is
do it.
Bismarck?
No, don't ask North Dakota.
According to an Alexa Answers contributor,
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got it. North Dakota. I thought it sounded
Badlands or
Right.
South Dakota.
yeah, but they're like on the north side, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
The north side of South Dakota.
Yeah, North South Dakota,
Where do you live? Well,
West Dakota.
technically, I'm in South Dakota, but it might as well be North Dakota. But if you're from North Dakota, you'd never consider this part of North Dakota. So really, it's like North South Dakota. Okay, I stopped listening like 16 words ago.
It's like, so there's no Dakota, but there's a North Dakota and a South Dakota. I guess the same with Carolina too. I guess.
Like this. Did I tell you? I told you about the saltwater terrorist, right? Did I tell you about that?
The saltwater terrorist.
The short story that I wrote. I wrote this short story. I wrote this short story when I was, I think, in 10th grade for English, and it was titled "The Saltwater Terrorist."
You did not tell me about
I
this.
think I have it somewhere probably, and I'll just give it to you in a nutshell. As the story goes, we're in the ocean. We're like, swimming in the ocean, just playing, whatever, wave riding and stuff. And we see something floating. It's like clear and okay. So the question is like, what is it? Is it? Do you think it's a jellyfish? Immediately you think it's a jellyfish, right? Because you're trained as a human being. Like you see a snake, you see like there's things that you just instinctively know. Like I gotta get away from this. And jellyfish are like that. If you right. So, in the end, it turns out it's just a plastic baggie. In my story, I don't remember why. Anyway, it was just a plastic baggie.
Well, it's
but
anti-pollution.
sure, I don't think it was that.
Hey,
I think it was more
Go
like
with
the things aren't always what they seem at first glance kind of thing. Very, very, very like
very deep.
deep for a 10th grader. But what wasn't deep is where I likened jellyfish to hold on, what was it? It was
Terrorism.
no. Well, yeah. This is pre 9/11, everybody. This is very
Terrorism had a very different
This
definition.
is like 1989 or something. So So it was okay. It was they were just stealing planes at that point, and not they were just they would still land.
They were landing them, yeah.
Yeah, they were crazy.
Well,
Anyway, I mean, anyway, I don't know why I'm landing this jellyfish. I don't know what I'm doing.
I gotta land sometime, man.
I'm landing the jellyfish.
How about you land the jellyfish on this story?
So I can't. There were three things because there's always three, but all I remember are two. But I liken the jellyfish to something, which I'll have to try to remember. Tab,
The
like
soft
the soda.
drink?
Yes.
Okay.
And North Dakota. Like Like, basically, and this is the way I explain it, things that could just vanish and no one would care. I don't know why I had such a strong opinion of North Dakota as a 10th grader. I'd never been there. And I apologize. It's a beautiful state, actually, as it turns out.
As everyone knows, jellyfish are the North Dakota of invertebrates.